everyone, it's Sue here from Scrappy Doo Sue. Hope you're all doing well. Welcome back to my channel. Thanks for supporting me. I do appreciate it. If you're a new person stopping by to see what my channel's all about, I'd love it if you would subscribe to my channel, and that would be great. And if you hit the bell, you'll get notifications of future videos. So I'm joining in with Rachel and Bella Crafts. It's RachandBellacrafts. Rachel is doing hashtag 100 days RAB. So she's doing a project for 100 days. Obviously, I think she started it in January. We're now in March, so I'm behind as usual. But I don't think I'm going to put myself under pressure, because I know she has got what do you call it now, a prize draw for if you complete the 100 days, your name gets put into a hat for prize draw, and if you do the 100 days project and you're also using Rachel's digitals, she'll put you into a different prize draw. I think that's a weekly one, and you can win one of her digital kits. I think that's right anyway. But I'm not kind of doing mine now for that, because obviously I'm really behind, so that's really an impossible thing. So anyway, stop chatting on about it, making this video really long. I'm going to do day one, and it's an envelope flip folder / journal topper. So if you keep in mind your size of it, you can put this on the front of a journal, on the cover, if you so wished. You can use whatever papers you want. Obviously, Rachel has got some lovely digitals in her shop. I haven't purchased any yet, but it's on my list because I'm obviously on a strict budget for purchasing things. And if you're going to join in, then you want, if you use the hashtag 100 days RAB, then you'll get noticed on her Facebook page. Now the Facebook page, I haven't got the name of that, but I'll find it and I'll link it below. But on there's lots of, it's a lovely junk journaling crafting group. So anyway, this is a prototype I made, and I made this out of a kit that I've had in my stash for a while. So it was a kit from Digital Fit, and it's their Vintage Daisy journal kit. The journal kit comes with all these pages I've used for this, but also I bought the ephemera kit as well. It was separate. So I've put a tie on mine. So I've tied it all down, and basically it's using up envelopes. They don't have to be new ones. They can be old ones that have been used, junk mail, that sort of thing. And it's a flip. So the front page I've made with a CD envelope, and I did actually make a little journal card to go in that, although we haven't got that far yet because I'm only on day one, so this wasn't decorated. So ignore the decoration. I only partially decorated this anyway, but this is the kit. So we've got envelope 1, then we've got envelope 2, and that's a side tuck, and then envelope 3 is a top tuck up here, and then envelope 4 is a side tuck, 5 is a top tuck here to put a journal card in, and then this is the base envelope, which doesn't have a top tuck or anything like that. It's just covered, and I covered the back and the front. Hang on, to make sure I flip it the right way. So I've covered all the flaps are on the back, so I've covered that over with a page from that kit. So that's what we're going to, well, I say we, this is, the we that may want to join in. So that's what I'm going to be doing today. Okay, right, I'm going to put that to one side, and these are the envelopes I'm using. So again, I'm using the CD envelopes. I really like them. I don't like the fact that the ones I've got are really, really, really thin. And if you put them into a flip, they have a tendency to start ripping down here and here. So what I've done is I've just got to, so that one's already torn there. So I'm going to have to glue that down. But once I stick over some paper, digital paper, that will be fine. I've strengthened this flap and just inside, just to the very edge of that window, with some extra card, and I then rescored it, so that really does make that flap sturdy. So I've got that one. This is a used one that I had a card in. Really lovely quality. This is so thick, so I'm going to cover that up anyway, so you don't need to worry about that. Then this is one out of my stash. It's a shiny one. I probably would never use it like it is. Then there's one similar size. It can be any size you want. This is another used one. I believe my sister sent me a card in it. It is a lovely envelope in itself, actually. May keep some of that. I don't know. Just cover. I don't know yet at the moment. And then this is the back one here, which it can be any size. But if you said, so these are the pages I'm using, but if you were to say this was the size of your journal, which this one is, so that's what you have to keep in mind when you're doing the base. So that one's just under 5.5, so that's 5 6/8, I think that is, wide, and well, tall, because it's that's envelope there. So, and the other measurement is 7 6/8 that way. So in centimeters, mine is 13.5 roughly, and just a couple of clicks over 18.5 centimeters. So that's, you know, you have to think about the size of the journal. If you wanted to use it as a journal topper, it can be a standalone piece, it can be a piece that you send out to somebody with you know, random act of kindness, a rack, or if you're doing a swap, that sort of thing. So right, I'll just put these back. So this is the order I'm having mine in. So that gets stuck down, so we'll do that now. So the first envelope, you're just sticking that down, that flap. I'll just get the glue book out, because this glue stick is really globby and sticky. It's not very nice. So I'm not doing anything to my back one. Again, I'm not making it into a tuck or anything, you know, into a pocket or anything like that, because I'm just leaving it as the back. Okay, so then I'm having that one there, and then you can position these wherever you want them, and we'll have this one here down this way, so you know this shows through, and then this one could be up the top there like so, and then this lovely, very good quality one. It feels so thick, it feels as if there's something in it. Down that one I'm going to have up there like that, because then I want this, actually I might have that one in the middle, and then this one I want down here like so. So that's how I'm having mine. Okay, and this is what I'm using. This is not a full kit. I am using, you can use anything, you can use scrapbook paper, you know, from your pads, as long as it's not too thick. You can use digitals, you can use any other papers, pattern papers you've got, plain papers, whatever you decide to make yours out of, whatever you've got. So in my stash, I'd printed out some of these random pages from Janeyb's, one of her mystery bundles. I've got a couple of them, and they're full of different digital pages. So I went through one of the bundles, and obviously I'd printed out some that I felt matched. So I've had these kind of printed out in my stash for a while, and they're kind of rosebud theme. So that's one. I thought these all went together really. That, I just love the colours of that. And then this one has the rose on it, and I thought that one kind of matched this one a bit. And then I've got this one here with roses on, and then this one here, and then this one which is a background page with roses in the background. So I like those, and I thought, well, I've had them printed out for a long time, so I'm just going to use them for this project. So what I'm going to do now is I'll just pause the camera, and I'm going to cut off my edges here. Okay, be back in a minute. Okay, so I've cut the corners, not the corners, I've cut the borders off of these. So now it's just a matter of deciding what's going to go where, really. So with this one, I won't cover this. I will eventually put a piece in there, but I will cover the back. So let's start by covering the last piece, the base. Let's cover the base. It's all about the base. So we just move those out of the way. And this is my base. I'm not going to have a top tuck. I'm going to leave it exactly as it is. I think there's enough. So now I just need to find a nice picture that can actually go in the base. So you're going to be cutting your papers to fit your pieces. So let's have a look. Wow, it's so difficult to choose, isn't it? Could be just a plain one. I quite like that lady there. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to lay that down and decide where I want to cut it. So I don't want to cut it so that it's edge to edge really. So I'm just going to make marks here and here, and I know the top and bottom will need a little bit taken off. So let's just quickly cut that. There is a bit of cutting, so I won't put you through the whole lot. I'll just speed it up. Didn't look straight at all. Something not right there. Or is it just my imagination? No, the top is definitely not straight. That's better. I think the design is not too straight. So we're going to cut a bit more off the top anyway, because I can see my mark. And that was my bottom mark. So okay, let's just see what that looks like. So that is going to go on here like so. So I don't want to edge to edge. Don't want too much of the envelope showing. So I'm just going to gauge it here. That's kind of what we need to do. Okay, so just want a tiny bit of this, I think this side, because I could just see a tiny bit of border still there. Oh, it doesn't want to chop today. Okay, so this is the easy bit, the back one. So, okay, am I happy with that? Yes, I think so. I don't mind that plain bit there, because I might put something there, you know. Okay, now if you wanted to ink round, then this would be the time to do it. I'm not going to ink round with this these pages because they're very pretty, I think, and delicate, and I don't think they need me to ink round really. So I am just going to glue mine down. I'm going to use my glue stick for most of it, which I don't like this glue stick at all. So the sooner it gets used up, the better really. And then I will go round the edges with some wet glue. Excuse the noise. Oh, so it's very, very sticky indeed. And here's my wet glue. Just take that off. Just going to put a thin bead. I've got a very achy top of my arm and shoulder. I don't know what I've done to it. I have taken some painkillers, so hopefully it has eased up a bit. And I don't know, squeezing these glues in the winter time when they don't want to come out, I find doesn't help. So right, I always think this is the tricky bit. Some people make this look very easy indeed. Am I happy with that? That's okay, that's fine. We'll leave that as is. I just need a clean dry cloth, if you know what I mean, one that I haven't been using inks with. Right, so that's our back. Right, okay, now let's, which one are we going to have next? So we're going to have this one next. I am going to cover that because that's not suitable now. So this, as I say, is a used envelope, and that one's going to go kind of in the middle there, like so. So you want to cover it first, back and front, and then we'll stick the flaps on. So we're going to cover all of these, okay? So put that one to one side for a minute, and we're just going to choose a piece now to go on here. So this is quite nice, this bird cage affair. Now does that kind of does fit, so I'm going to mark this again. Kind of have to do 4 corners if you can. Then, well, if you can hear a noise, that's my washing machine. There's obviously something in it. It's probably my husband's work jeans, I'd say, work trousers. So it doesn't matter if it's not accurate. This, well, you don't want it too small, but you don't want it too big either. Okay, let's do the other side, because the only thing I find is either way you're going to cut one of these marks off. And let's just check before we go any further. So I definitely want some off here, and so I want to be about there. I think that's right. And a bit more off the bottom. Like so. Okay. I'm keeping the bigger pieces just in case, because I don't know what Bella is intending going forward. So Rachel rather, Rachel and Bella, Rach and Bella Crafts. I still think it needs a shade off. No, I'm not going to cut all of these on camera. I will, I think, speed this up. So we'll go through the motions. I won't talk too much. I will take the sound off if I speed it up. I just want to make sure. I've made a big bit of a meal out of this one, haven't I? Okay, right, that's better. Okay. I hope you're all well, and I hope you're all managing to get some crafting done. Now, this 100 days is going to really make me do a daily video, which I think is what Bella said she started to do it for herself, to focus on getting into a routine to do videos more frequently, and it's something I really need to do. I do try and schedule 1 or 2 ahead, but I still work 3 days a week, 3 full days a week, and I have to say sometimes I just don't have the energy to do much crafting in between. You know, when I come home from work, if I'm in the office, I definitely don't have any energy to do any. The will is there, but in the mind, but not the physical ability. Right, that needs to come off. So yeah, so just giving that a real press down with a dry cloth like that. Now, tricky bit now is doing the back of these, because what you don't want, if you're making it into a top pocket, so we'll make this one a top pocket, and we'll do that now. I think no, we'll make it into a side pocket, I think. Just cutting a slither off the side, so it will be like that. Okay, so when you glue the back on, what you don't want to do is glue this down, so you want to avoid any glue in this triangular area here. Okay, so let's find something now to go on this. So this is quite nice because it's a bit plainer. So okay, I'll use this side. I like the script, so I don't want it to come completely to my envelope crease there, otherwise it's going to impede it, but you don't want it too far away. Okay, so if we say we want it a little bit showing like before, oops, then I'm going to cut it along there. So I'm going to cut it down there, because the way this has been designed, it's kind of in a kind of journal page style with a line down the middle, which is quite nice sometimes to help you to determine, you know, where you want to put it in a journal and stuff. Okay, so just taking that, straightening that up a little bit now. I did put my mark on here. There it is. So now, which side do I want? That side or this? That's perfect. So now I just want to mark, there's my pencil, mark just there, I think, and I'm going to cut this like so. Hopefully this time I won't be messing about with different chipping a bit off here and a bit there. No, that's perfect. Right, so now comes the difficult part. So what I do is, because I've made it slightly smaller than the envelope, in theory, this is what I do. I pop it into the envelope. Obviously it's going to come out the other end, okay, and so that goes down. I'm just going to draw, hopefully this works. Make sure I flap, make sure it's okay. I'm just going to do a faint line down here to do the outline of this that I don't want to glue, and I'm going to hold that, okay, and I'm going to actually glue it all, this wet glue, so I can see that it starts there, just about see. Oh, come on, glue, come on. Right, okay. So I can see there, so I know I can go all the way up that section. This sticky glue. And then that's to the line there. So I'll just do that section there, and then there's the line there, and that is where the line is there. Okay, so I just want to go around with a bit of this. You know, for an awful minute I just thought, what have you done? And then you do need to go and do a thin bead round that dry edge down there, like so, and hopefully this is going to work. So don't cover your flap. Jiggle it about. Oh, that's far too, I need to pull it up a bit, down a bit, oh, before it dries. Make sure my flap's fine. Okay, and that should, in theory, not have stuck. Thank goodness it didn't. So there, that should stick stuck down there, shouldn't it? Okay, and then I'm just going to get my pencil rubber, eraser I should say, take that line off. Okay, so now we've got a side flap on that one, and while we're at it we can put our thumb hole in, and I'm going to go through both sides. Like so. That's our second envelope. That then goes here, like so. Okay, and that's covered. Okay, just cut these two bits and hope that this will go into the back of the CD envelope and look nice through the window. That is the plan. Now the difficulty is, I always find, just getting it actually in there once you've glued it. Oh, so now we have to make an entrance, don't we? Because we're having a side. No, we said we're having a top pocket for this now. So that's going to come off, and so you have to remember this is all glued down to there, so this may need some taking off it. Right, let's just have a look. Yeah, so I'm going to just trim it now and just keep trying it. So that's perfect. Okay, and that looks lovely, doesn't it? So now I have to glue that inside, and that is the difficult part. Okay, so I need glue stick maybe. Okay, so keep it like that, so I make sure that it goes in straight away. Don't think the tacky glue will be any good. I might use some Fab Beacon 3-in-1. I think that gives you a bit more wriggle time. So that's what I'm going to use. What's left of this one, which has been upside down in my pot. Just make sure there's a good bit on there, and then this has got to go in here. So I'm going to try and hold it open like that and make sure it's up the right way, and as quick as I can get it pushed down. Phew, that worked a treat. Right, that is done. So just going to put my bone folder in, give that a burnish. Oh, I can hear the kettle. Might be lucky enough. See, the minute you lay that down. Right, so that's our, so now I want to do a bit of stenciling around there. So I'm just going to lay out this. A minute. Okay, so okay, I'm just going to pop the lid on this awful, horrible, sticky glue stick, and I'm just going to stop the video and find my stencil and my ink. I am back. Okay, so I've got this archival Ranger distress ink. It's called Picked Raspberry. Now, could be a bit bright. That's I've put it on there, and it's on the end of, so I'm not going to put too much on this. I'm going to use a dauber, and this is one of my stencils here. And what I need to do is I need to cover up the window while I'm doing this, like so. And I'm just going to gently go through the stencil because I don't want it too dark, and I don't want it on the window. So I'm going to cover the corner over like that, and oh, it's moved, so I just need to reposition it. I'm literally just daubing it down as opposed to rubbing it, really. And the good thing about these stencils is you can turn them over to get a slightly different impression. So again, I'm covering the corner. The stencil needs a good wash, really, doesn't it? Yes, I'm sure you're all saying how dirty it looks, but they do become discoloured over time, I think, when you're using all different colours with them. I will give this a bath. I quite like it. I've never used this picked raspberry, but I don't tend to do much in pinks and that sort of thing, to be honest. But I really do like them. I like other people's as well. I should do more, really. Oh, I like that a lot, actually. I hope you do. I hope you don't think it's too much. Oops, sorry, getting over zealous there. Right, we'll pop that over there to remind me that it's got to be washed, and take that away. And there we have our CD pocket there. And what I'm going to do off camera is I will just fortify that top, the front there, that top piece, just before the window, because it's very flimsy. So I will strengthen that because it will be a pocket. So that needs a bit of glue down there. Come on. Okay, maybe I should just go around it and glue. You might do, you know, often do need to go round and stick bits down a bit, you know. Okay, so I don't like that bit there sticking out. Right, so let's have a look. And so we're on the final leg, so that's the front. I think that's all right. I like it. And now we're going to stick the back, the flaps to the main piece, and this is where you make your decision about where they're going to go. So I'm going to have this one down here. So yeah, this was a used envelope, so that's why the flap's a bit messy. So you don't want to go completely up to the crease of the flap, but you want to position them so that you know exactly where you want them, like that. And don't go up to the flap, because if you do, then it'd be hard to fold them over. So always just check doing that. Okay, that's one. And then we wanted this one maybe down here, like so. That would be nice. Paddy dog's come up to ask me if I want a cup of tea. Thank you, Paddy. I do want a cup of tea. You can go and tell Daddy then. I heard the kettle. That would be nice. Now, we said down here, didn't we? So, make your decision, and then, because once it's stuck, it is stuck. Okay. Try and make sure that your gap is even. Why are you crying, Paddy? Why are you crying? Why aren't you down with Daddy? So she's going up the top. Mummy's busy at the moment. We are soppy, calling each other Mummy and Daddy. They're like your fur babies, aren't they? They're like your children, really. children have fled the nest, so we have to substitute now with a doggy. Yes, Paddy dog. He's a little scoundrel, actually. Stealing. He likes stealing things out of the pedal bin. He can actually operate it, believe it or not. So that's nice. And then we're having this one here. Okay. No, we're having this one, I think, there. Did we say? Yes, we did say that. So I've got to have that just there, I think. Yes, I was working up here the other day because this is my like home office as well. This desk. I just bring my laptop from work, and I could hear clunking about. I thought I heard the pedal bin in the bathroom. Sure enough, Paddy had opened it and decided to get something out and run off down the stairs, which is like his operating theatre. So he's a big one on, you know, grabbing tissues and things like that. And off he went with it, delighted with himself. And then we're having that lady peeking out of the top there. So yeah, so I've never known a dog to be able to operate the pedal bin before, but he can. It's only a small one, you know, but yeah. He presses it down with one paw, the flap opens, and hey presto, he's in. Looking for, sometimes he does it, we've got one in the bedroom as well, and sometimes he does it in there too. So just make sure your envelope is kind of even. Okay, like that. Now I want to cover the back, but we go back to what we're going to use as a tie now. So I have a choice of these. I've decided to use these, have all different colours of these. Now this is kind of a nice dusky pink, or I could go for neutral. I did think I wanted this dusky pink, but now I've done this pink, I'm not so sure I like it. I think we'll go for neutral. Right. Okay, so this is, if you want a closure, this is the time to glue it down. So you're going to glue it down over the back, and then we'll cover the whole of the back with a piece of paper. So I just want to position it and make sure I've got enough to tie a bow. I'll maybe have a little bit extra, we can always trim it. Okay, so want to make sure that's even. So this is how I do it. So just keep adjusting it till you're happy with it, like so. No, still a little bit needs to come over that way, and then hold those together. That's perfect. So what I'm going to do is hold that down like that, and I'm going to now get my beacon 3-in-1, and I'm going to glue that a band across there. Has Daddy shut you out, Paddy? Is that why you're worrying? Daddy shut the door, hasn't he, downstairs? So Saturday afternoon today, and England are playing Ireland in rugby, and my husband is Irish, Republic of Ireland. So they've won all their matches so far. So for confliction really, me being English, you know, British. So that is, make sure that is even like so. Yeah, that's fine. Just make sure that I like the beacon 3-in-1 because you can move it a little bit before it finally dries. Okay, so I just glue it down for a bit of extra, and it's not halfway, it's because my last envelope on the top is a flappy one. I mean, what am I saying? They're all flappy. Is the lowest one, I should say. Oh, I hope this is going to tie up all right. I have to quick. Now is the time for me to make a decision. Do I like this or not? If it doesn't tie into a nice bow and stay there, then it's not going to do its job. I think that's all right. Yeah, I think that's fine. I quite like that. Okay, so now we're going to cover the back. Right, so we just undo that. Now, lay it flat. And we just want one more piece now to cover the back. And this seems to be my last piece. I may print... I may have to look in my stash. If I haven't got anything that matches in, I may have to go and have a look in my folders and perhaps print something. The reason I'm covering the back is because I might not necessarily be sticking this down onto the front of a journal. I might be having it as a freestanding piece. Should I say standalone? That's probably a better word. Right. Last job of the day for this. Guillotine. It's a good way to use up this stash. I will be, you know, looking for some new bits. But I do try and stick to a monthly budget, you know. If I can, because otherwise, you know, and I know, we can go mad at spending lots of money on things that we don't necessarily need because we've already probably got them. I think I'm going to stick with the 3-in-1 for the back. So the back page can really be, you know, scrap of something. So if you're going to glue it down, then you don't need to really know what. Might not even need to stick a piece over, I suppose. And you can make these out of really tiny little envelopes actually, and have it as a really nice centerpiece for the front of a journal. That would be nice, wouldn't it? I think. Oh, I think that's a good idea, actually. There. So that's covered everything up. And there we have our flappy journal come. See, my bows leave a lot to be desired. Some ladies and gents on YouTube can really tie nice bows. Mine, anyway, so let's undo it again. So we have this, we can with a top pocket here, so we can put a nice journal card in there that will fit into that circle with another nice piece, you know, illustration on. and we've got a side pocket here in this one, and we've got a top pocket in this one, and a top pocket in this one, and side pocket in this one, and this is the back. And we, I think, on the 100-day challenge, will be decorating. So keep all your scraps and things from your kit or whatever you're using. And we've also got our closure. I've gone ahead and done mine. I don't know if there's one of the 100-day challenges that involves, you know, a tie, but there we have it. Okay, I'm just going to put the glue pin in, and I will now say goodbye to you. So this was the other one. So there we have our first of the 100-day challenges. So it's hashtag 100 days RAB, and I'll just bring them down a bit, and it's RachandBellacrafts day 1 of the 100 days of crafting that she's doing, and this is called the envelope, simple envelope flip folder / journal topper. Okay, so hashtag 100 days RAB. I will link her channel below, and I will link Janeyb's mystery bundle as well, and I'll also link the digital fit kit for this in case anyone's interested. And I'll also link Bella and Rach Crafts Etsy shop, so you can go along and have a look at her kits, because she's got some really lovely kits which I've kind of, you know, liked a few with a view to purchasing. I've missed her discount for her birthday, but never mind. That's the way it is, isn't it? Anyway, I hope you enjoyed that. I'm going to try and do one every day now, even though I'm not going to put myself in the drawer, because I'm 3 months behind really. So see what you can do. Use any old envelopes, make some envelopes if you haven't got any, and see what you can do. And I'll link her Facebook page too, Rachel and Bella Crafts, Rach and Bella Crafts Facebook page, so that you can go along there and see what other people have done. Okay, take care. Bye bye.